welcome to Cindy's Library. And today I'm going to talk about the Chronicles of Narnia because I recently finished rereading them. I read the first two earlier last year, then I read three by the end of the year, then I decided I may as well finish off the last two. So yeah, I've reread all of these. Now, first, the important question: what order to read them in? I know this is a bit controversial in some circles. Personally, though, I like publication order, and I would suggest that especially for a first read. After that, it doesn't matter so much. But the reason why I suggest that is because, well, if you start with The Magician's Nephew, which is chronologically first, that is the sixth book that was published. And Lewis, he had 5 previous books to develop some of his ideas on Narnia. So, if you start there, uh, ruin the experience is not the right way of putting it, but it definitely won't be the same experience as the original readers would have had. So that's just my personal preference. You may have other uh, ideas about that, and that's totally fine. But one thing I do appreciate about this copy is the illustrations. And yep, these are the original illustrations by Pauline Burns. So that is wonderful. As for the Chronicles of Narnia itself, well, Narnia is a different world, and various children from our world keep getting drawn to Narnia. Usually when Narnia is in a bit of crisis for one reason or another. For example, the first book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. First Lucy, then Edmund, and then all of them with their older brother and sister, Susan and Peter as well, are all drawn into Narnia through a wardrobe because there's a white witch ruling Narnia who has made it so it's always winter and never Christmas. And so it's been that way for a good 100 years or so. So, but the question is, how would I rank the individual stories of the Chronicles of Narnia? That is a very good question. So, I would probably have to put The Horse and His Boy at the very bottom. There are many things to like about The Horse and His Boy, but it isn't focused on a journey from our world into Narnia with children of various sorts. There are 2 children, and there is a journey, but one is a Narnian, or at least technically, I forget the name of his country right next to Narnia that's allied. And the other is a Calmarine girl, I believe, and 2 horses. And like I said, there's a lot to like with this, and we do get glimpses of Susan and Edmund and Lucy, which is great, during their golden age reign, but it's just not quite the same. So that's why it's at the bottom. Next, I would probably have to put Prince Caspian. We have the 4 original children back, which is wonderful. But a lot of it has an interesting structure since everything is from these 4 children's point of view. We have a long digression by a dwarf about what's been going on in Narnia since they were last there, which is about 1,000 years later. So, and it's not that that digression isn't most interesting, it's all about Prince Caspian. But I'm also not sure the themes of it are my favorite either. So I guess that'll be number 6 on my list. Number 5. Now we're starting to get to where it's harder. I would probably have to put, though, let's see. I would probably have to put The Last Battle, since there are a few nice scenes in the middle, but a lot of it is exactly what it says on the package. It is the last battle of Narnia. Now, that isn't to say I don't absolutely love the ending, because that's one of my favorite parts of the whole series. So that's why it is number 5 and not lower. Number 4, I'd have to put The Silver Chair. Love Puddleglum, but it is probably the most gloomy book out of all of them, and not just because of Puddleglum, the perpetual gloomy optimist. The children go north with Puddleglum. Seems to always be bad weather. Yeah. Number 4 sounds about right for that one. Number 3, I am going to have to put The Magician's Nephew. This is probably the most fairy tale-esque of all of them, complete with an evil uncle and a witch and a sick, probably dying mother. So, yeah, that sounds about right. We'll do The Magician's Nephew as number 2. Or number 3, I mean. Number 2, I'm going to put The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, because, well, this is a bit surprising to me, but I enjoyed it so much this last time. The whole journey. Plus, we get introduced to Eustace Scrubb, who, at least at the beginning of the book, almost deserves his name. So, number 2, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which puts at number 1, yes, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What can I say? It started the whole Narnia thing off in an amazing way, and I absolutely love it. I love all of these, but I love some of them a bit more than others, and that's okay. Have you read the Chronicles of Narnia? How would you order all of them if you have? I'd be interested in hearing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate that. I think that's all for today. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.